Gardner Sherrill. Let him hear it. Gardner Sherrill.
Wow, this is real. So yes, you're not reading that incorrectly. My name is actually Gardner Sherrill. And yes, I was harassed throughout grade school with that. I naively thought it would end there. It's really odd when you're 50 years old, you're in a business meeting, making introductions. Some stranger leans over and jokes, like a garden snake. You know, but every now and then you get something that's original. I was out visiting my mom for the holidays. I was introduced to a priest. He looks at me and goes, "Hey, you growing potatoes in your pants?" You know, I gotta give him for originality. It made me laugh. So I've got two boys. Their ages 15 and 17. They're really good boys. You know, they get decent grades. Man, they smell. You know, teenage funk. I don't know. You try to get them to wear deodorant. That really doesn't help. I mean, you end up getting this weird mix of a little bit of sea breeze with a heavy dose of open ass. Someday somebody will figure that out. My boys are completely different, which is, normal. But my oldest, he's a sweet kid, he's outgoing. He seems to really like his parents. He's my dog. If you ever catch him doing something wrong, he just stops, looks at you and says, "I'm sorry, Dad." I hate that. Totally disempowers me. I don't even know where to go from there. My youngest, well, he's crabby. Glass is half full. I think he prefers his mom. But there are times when that kid can be so sweet. Of course, he's my cat. So, he will never apologize. You can catch him right in the act, and he just stares you down. He's thinking, what are you going to do about it? Mom's got my back. And he's right. I get mad, I get in trouble. Go figure. So my kids fight a lot, right? Kids fight. I tell them, hey, look, guys, someday you're going to be best friends. Might as well start now. Well, in typical teenage fashion, they think I'm an idiot. Whatever. Well, I've got an older brother, and we are best friends, but that certainly wasn't always the case. My brother's the outgoing one. He tells the best dirty jokes. He drinks with the best of them. So, of course, he became a priest. He's Episcopalian, which a lot of people call Catholic Light, which makes a lot of sense because he loves boys. Come on, guys, he's got 3 of his own. So he used to really harass me, right? So, I was thinking the other day about this time when we all went down with a couple of families to the Cayman Islands. And I drank a bunch of Cokes. I had to potty real bad. And so as we're walking back to our hotel room, I got panicky and asked my saintly brother for the key. And of course he wouldn't give it to me. So I ended up peeing in my pants, doing little donuts around the front door to everyone's delight as I cried. Or there was a time that he tied an M80 to my favorite toy. It's one of those Evel Knievel motorcycles. You wind it up and let it go. It does all these killer stunts, right? So he wound it up and sent it to oblivion. So, I know my brother had some kind of calling to the church. I just think he'd probably been better set for like the Spanish Inquisition. My dad wasn't much help. My dad would let us kind of beat each other up for some period of time. He might step in, and he had this standard phrase he would say, "You boys quit playing grab ass." I knew what he meant, but that's such a weird phrase. So I looked it up. It so happens that it means exactly what it says. It's the pursuit of another person with the intention of squeezing their butt. What? What kind of games was my dad playing with his brother? Was this quote that he kept bringing up have some impact on my brother's decision to become a priest? So, someone over there got it. So, I tell my kids, look, you learn life lessons from each other. You might as well get along. I learned things from my brother. For example, I bought this new K-Tel album, Power Play. You remember K-Tels? Yeah, on the B-side was this Captain Tennille song, because all the cool kids listen to Captain Tennille in their 80s, right? And it was, do that to me one more time. Yeah, after repeated playings in high fidelity, my mother seemed to get embarrassed by it. So she told me I could never play it again, and she had my brother explain to me why. And that's how I learned about the birds and the bees. But apparently he went a little further than she'd intended, because sometime later my father came up to me awkwardly, says, "Son, your mother wants me to talk to you about." Horrified, I stopped him. I said, "Dad, no, I know all about that." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yes, sir." So we had this awkward silence, and he said, "Okay then." Well, fast forward 30 years later, my wife comes up to me and she says, "It's time you had the talk with your oldest." It's like, all right. So I walk into his room and say, "Son, your mother wanted me to talk to you about," and in like fashion, he stops me. Wow, the things these kids know today. Captain Tennille, they had no imagination. Thank you.
Gardner.